Hi, I'm Carol Jurgensen-Sheets, aka Carol the Coach, and I'm going to be talking to addicts today about what do you do when you're in good recovery, you're counting the days, you might be on day 90, you might be on day 180, and then something comes before you that absolutely trips you up. Complacency is very common in any kind of addiction, but you really have to be careful when it comes to sexual addiction, because that's when the addict inside of you, those behaviors come out and grab hold of the situation. The addict is so opportunist and wants so badly to get you to revert back to old behaviors. Now, the jury's out. I'm saying the addict part of you. And there's a lot of people that don't like that terminology because they say, you know what, that's the whole part of you. But here's what I believe about sexual addiction. Sex in and of itself is not bad. Sex is important. But what gets you in trouble is the behavior that's attached to sex. And so you really want to follow through on creating behaviors that support your recovery 24/7. Dr. Patrick Carnes says it takes 3 to 5 years to retrain the brain to create new neurocircuitry. And what I know to be true is that means you have to work a day at a time so that you don't get discouraged and go, oh dear God, I've got 3 to 5 years to do this. But the truth of the matter is you've got to become a brain scientist. You've got to know that your brain is healing from the damage you've done. And that it's not sex that's bad, it is those behaviors that you created around your sexuality. And so, here's what I believe. I really believe that complacency allows you to relax. And when you relax, you aren't working a strong enough recovery program. And that's when things will happen that you didn't even count on. You know, you may be going to the mall, you get approached by a woman who offers you a sexual favor for $20. Or you're doing your recovery really, really well, and your wife's Victoria's Secret comes in the mail, and who knows why, but for whatever reason, you pick it up and you start to flip the pages ever so gently, almost teasing yourself. When in reality, you know you can throw that sucker away. Your wife can live without her Victoria's Secret. You don't need to start the reward center rolling so that today it's Victoria's Secret, tomorrow it's bikini pictures, and the next day it's full-fledged porn, and then it's websites, and then it's chat rooms. You get the drift. So you've got to be hypervigilant. And if you've been watching these videos, and or your partner has been watching these videos, you know that hypervigilance can be a really tough thing if you're a partner, because it means you never can relax. You always are looking to see what might trigger your husband or wife, depending on who the sex addict is. But hypervigilance for you is okay, because it's that hypervigilance that'll keep you safe. It'll keep you stable. It'll keep you on guard for the next trigger. Because we've got a zillion things that you can do for your triggers. But you've got to be able to assess that they are triggers. You've got to be able to know that that Victoria's Secret magazine is poison. It's toxic. You got to be able to know that that smartphone in your pocket that got recalibrated and now it has no filters on it is one step away from you going back to your sexual addiction full force. See, that's what I really want you to know, is that when you've stopped for a while, and then for whatever reason you get triggered and you go back to old behaviors, you start back where you left off or further. And you've done too much good work to let sexual addiction take you down. I work with a lot of men, and when they want to work, it works. That's the good news. And I know if you're watching this video, you might be thinking to yourself, Carol, this feels like so much deprivation. I can't take it. It feels like I can't do anything anymore. You know? I have to let my wife know everywhere I'm going. I can't text people. I can't look at that magazine. I can't watch Netflix. I can't go to a bar. Because you and I both know that truly, this isn't just about sexual addiction. It's about working too hard and being a workaholic and coming home and going, what can I enjoy? Because it used to be sex. It used to be sexual addiction. Or you come home from a hard day's work or it's the weekend. Let's say, you're in the middle of a weekend, you're kind of lonely, you're kind of bored. You go to the races, the horse races, and you come home and for whatever reason you feel activated. Again, that reward center. It is absolutely triggering when your reward center is activated. So what do you have to look forward to? Well, they say that connection is the antidote for sexual addiction. So that means you need to connect. You need to call your buddies in the program. You need to call your Aunt Mabel. Maybe you need to call your brother in California, whom you have somewhat of a tumultuous relationship with, but you want to just call them and say, hey, I was thinking about you. How you doing? It doesn't mean you run from conflict. It means that you look for ways to connect, that when you get off the phone, you get off Skype, you get off Zoom, you can breathe deep and go, you know what? That's what life's about. True intimacy, real closeness. And that will activate the reward center in a much different way. That, instead of producing dopamine, although it will a little bit, will produce oxytocin. It'll provide that desire to continue cuddling life, closeness, warmth. And, so many of the addicts I work with say they get triggered by one of three things. They get triggered by loneliness, they get triggered by boredom, and they get triggered by feelings of inadequacy. They want to numb that. So the minute they feel inadequate, they go for sexual addiction as opposed to some self-help or a positive person in their life or some spiritual reading, a daily meditation, things that center and ground you and make you feel whole or give you a direction to strive for. That's why I'm always saying, as a sex addict, create those healthy circle behaviors. Join a yoga class, do some woodworking, kayak, sail, rollerblade, bike. Become part of an extra group, a Bible study, a study group, a class. Do something that stimulates the brain and connects you to other people. And that is the medicine that I want you to start really looking for whenever you begin to feel complacency. You think, I got this. My guys in the sex addicts group say, boredom is good. When life is boring and I'm in recovery, I can breathe. And I really agree with that. But when you're teetering with recovery and you're still uncomfortable with yourself, boredom can be a killer. It can be toxic. So I want you to think about what you can do so you don't get complacent. I want you to look at this as a 3 to 5 year reset of the brain, allowing the neurocircuitry to redevelop. And I want you to take it a day at a time, making each day more powerful, more connected, and more self-loving than before. Okay, I'll catch you back here for more Sex Help with Carol the Coach. Have a great day.